For many women, a diagnosis of breast cancer provokes the fear of physical survival. But hot on the heels of worrying about one's mortality comes the fear of being able to financially survive cancer. A 2014 study suggests that about 25% of long-term breast cancer survivors go into debt to pay for their treatment, with the impact falling most heavily on minority women. In addition, 12% reported that they still are struggling with their medical debt 4 years after being diagnosed. Molly McDonald, the founder of the Pink Fund, an organization that provides breast cancer patients with short-term financial aid while they are in active treatment, uses the term financial toxicity to describe the financial backlash of cancer treatment. She describes it as the emotional, mental, and physically debilitating, often life-threatening financial side effects induced by cancer treatment. Financial stress can lead patients to decrease their use of oral drugs to spread them out, or skip doctor appointments, says McDonald. In 2005, McDonald was blindsided by her breast cancer diagnosis. As a response to her own financial struggle with her treatment, and to prevent other women from having to undergo the same burdens, McDonald decided to create the Pink Fund. Here's her story. Want to pick up some healthier habits? Sign up to get healthy living tips delivered straight to your inbox. Cancer treatment stick shock, mounting bills and high insurance payments. In 2005 I was transitioning between jobs and thought it would be wise to get some of my annual medical diagnostic tests out of the way, never suspecting I would have a problem with my mammogram. I had an early stage of breast cancer and that derailed my career opportunity. I had no savings because I had been through a financially devastating divorce. Now I had a COBRA premium of $1,200 a month to maintain my health insurance throughout treatment. I did not qualify for Medicaid, perhaps because I had a newer vehicle or qualifications were done on my previous year's income. Without my income contribution, my second husband was bringing in about $2,000 a month in cash. We needed about $4,500 a month to survive. That was for the basics: house payment, car payment, utilities, insurance, and food. We were upside down, fast. We had about $800 a month after we paid the COBRA premium. We couldn't make the house payment and the house went into foreclosure. I had to bargain with the credit company regarding my car payments every 58 days so they would not come get my car. We were paying portions of our utilities, but at one point we got far behind on our electric bill and they were threatening shut off. Tackle copays with a payment plan. The challenge for me was not the medical costs. Medical copays can most often be negotiated, portions can be forgiven, or you can make a payment plan with the treating institution, but everything else. My copays were about $6,000 in total, which was low. The average copay for cancer treatment is between $1,200 and $1,500 a month, so you are looking between $15,000 and $20,000 a year in copays. That's assuming you have surgeries, chemotherapy infusions, and radiation. That's a significant chunk of change for some people. Based on your income, you can have it reduced. The smartest thing is to make a payment plan in writing, and they will look at your income and determine what you can afford. Generally, hospitals preferred to get paid rather than send the bill to collections, which can be costly, time-consuming, and result in a reduced rate. Lost income is a huge challenge. In the midst of all this, I met many other women who were having similar financial challenges. They were working women, so they weren't so worried about the copays, but they were worried about the lost income. They couldn't afford some of the basic cost of living expenses. If you go on a medical leave and you are without income for 3 months, I don't know too many people in this country, even though we are all told to have 3 months of savings, who have that cash liquidity. You are in trouble fast and you face the potential for catastrophic financial losses. I had what I call the home run to homelessness. I'm at that and my life is good and I hit the ball and get to first base and now I get a divorce. I get to second base and now I have breast cancer. I get to the third base and I'm at job loss, and I get back to home and I'm homeless, because all this is going against me. In my case, I could rescue my home with the help of my mother, and I could get back to work and pull in some income within 6 months. I ended up in line at the food bank and I became determined to make a difference in this space that nobody seemed to be addressing. There are millions of dollars allocated for early detection and breast cancer awareness, which is important. At the other end of the spectrum, there are millions and millions toward researching cures. But between these two bookends of the disease, we have 250,000 women being diagnosed in this country, many of them working at moderate income jobs, whose families depend on them and who are temporarily unable to provide. For these women, without a steady income, things can quickly snowball. Founding the Pink Fund. I became determined to do something about it and started the Pink Fund. Since we began, we have paid out just over $2 million to our patients' creditors for non-medical living expenses for 90 days with a cap of $3,000 per patient. More than half of that money goes to mortgage and rent, and the second largest need is for car payments. Transportation, not having a reliable vehicle or access to public transportation, is a huge barrier to treatment. If you lose your home and you lose your car, you are in bad place. We align with the Family and Medical Leave Act, which allows for job protection for up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave, by design. We provide a financial bridge for women to cover their allotted 3-month leave from work, after which you can be fired. We help people with reported incomes that range from $10,000 to $75,000. Financial helpers, food banks, your community, and non-profits. Surviving breast cancer financially requires resilience. There's the local food bank and some organizations that will send Visa cards or gas cards. Two fabulous resources for medical copays such as chemo infusions or oral drugs are the Patient Advocate Foundation and the Patient Access Network Foundation. Both have funds for breast cancer. There's also Needy Meds, an organization dedicated to helping people afford their medications and other healthcare costs. If you have stage 4 cancer, when it has spread far away from the origin into other organs of the body and is no longer curable, often foundations have funds demarcated for the specific drugs required. I recommend to women struggling financially with the cost of cancer treatment to use the food bank. You want to preserve whatever cash you have available, most of which gets used primarily for food or gas. When people ask how they can help, that's a good thing to ask for. Bring me meals, bring me a bag of groceries, here's my list. You can be very specific about what you want people to do. I cut and colored my own hair for 6 months. We used the library to get movies, there was no eating out of course, and the kids went to camp on a scholarship. We sold a car we didn't need. Our church helped pay our Cobra premium twice. That's another thing you can do, reach out to your faith community if you have one. If you don't have one, make yourself known to a faith community. They are generally designed to help people in need, not just their own flock. You can also ask people to drive you places to save money on gas. I once lived a life of luxury, lots of money, big house, nice cars, private schools, and I lost all of it. I ended up in line at the food bank. I'm the woman who once had groceries delivered. Now here I am in the last third of my life and I am doing the most important work of my life. We are changing lives. We are not saving everybody, but we are giving them help and hope.